Here it is.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode here on The Richter Show. So, right now, I am actually at the Best Western in Georgia, the country of Georgia, in Tbilisi. Now, this is not my room. The reason why I say it's not my room, even though I'm at the Best Western, it's because I did an early check-in and didn't really have my room ready. So they gave me this temporary room for like about 6 hours. And then I guess when the other guests leave at the other room that's supposed to be for me, they'll just swap me and switch me over there. So I'll be here for at least for the next 6 hours. I just came back from a 32-hour trip, technically, between flights and airports. So I will rest here, and then by the next time that you see this, I will be in the other room. In the magic of camera, watch this. And now, we're in the correct room. Welcome back. So, I just went back down to the receptionist after waiting a couple of hours, and now they gave me the right room. I'm gonna give you a tour around it, and then I'll speak a little bit of it, and let's give it a bit of a review. So check out the room that I actually had reserved. It's on the 7th floor, and let's get to it.
So we actually have a really big, nice living area, and I'm actually going to show you the bathroom as well. It's really nice. It's really all tiles, very beautiful, very comfortable, very clean, very modern. I'm actually happy because I take a lot of these things in consideration. And you can actually see my luggage there still because I just got into the room. I like to make the review and film everything right before I settle in. Well, I actually did get a queen-sized bed. It actually was very comfortable on every night that I slept. And very important that I actually get a desk area. Obviously, there's a TV there, which I barely use. And I actually have a balcony. This is one of the things that I really enjoy when I get hotel rooms, and you get a really nice view of actually the city of Tbilisi. So I really like it. It's really big, it's very spacious, and it's a place that I am very comfortable with.
Now today we're going to be reviewing actually the Best Western here in Tbilisi, Georgia. It's actually the capital of Georgia. So there are a couple of Best Westerns here. So I stayed specifically the one that's in the city center. I think it's called the Best Western City Center. And just be careful when you book because they might be a little bit confusing, and you don't want to end up going to the wrong one or booking the wrong one and thinking that you were booking one thing or the other. Anyway, so let's dive right into it. And I'll start off with the check-in process. Now, for me, it was a little bit different when I checked in because I was arriving here at 4 in the morning. So I did contact the hotel prior, and I did tell them that I wanted to do an early check-in because of my flight time. I do have diamond status, so that does help. And they understood. They said it was okay, no problem. So when I got here to the hotel and I went to check in, unfortunately my room wasn't available at the moment because the people hadn't checked out yet. So they temporarily put me in another room. I'll show a clip of that. And then after that, I went down to the reception area and they put me in the correct room. So it was basically just swapping my name and putting me in the correct room again. So that was no problem. I don't have an issue with that because at least they accommodated me while I was here and while I did the early check-in, which I'm very grateful for. So being here in the country of Georgia, don't get it confused. It's the country of Georgia. I know that maybe a lot of Americans are listening to this and they're probably thinking that Georgia, the state, not the country. There's two big differences, okay? I'm going to put a little map of where actually the country of Georgia is, so that way you see that the country of Georgia is not the state of Georgia, all right? And the capital of the country of Georgia is Tbilisi. I might be saying a little bit wrong, but you get the idea. Anyway, so after the check-in, which I had no problem, and they were very kind, and he explained to me that the room wasn't ready at the moment, which I was okay with it. I understood, no problem. Either way, as soon as I got here, all I did was just go straight to bed. I was exhausted from my 31-hour flight between planes and airports, so I just knocked out. I just needed a bed to knock out and relax. And then I woke up comfortable later, and I was able to just go into my correct room and shower and do whatever I needed to do. So I'm gonna go now and head towards the room. It is a very big room. I was actually surprised. I don't know why I was expecting a little bit more of it though. I guess because I've been in bigger suites, let's put it that way. This is supposed to be the best room at this hotel. It is pretty big. It is comfortable. There's a lot of room. There's an area if I brought like friends or anybody over, if they wanted to chill on the couch, and we can all sit there and just talk. Or if somebody wanted to stay over, I can give them the couch. All right. But I didn't really have anybody over, so. But I always do appreciate the room, the amount of space there is, because I don't want to feel all claustrophobic. And in this case, there was a lot to walk around. The bathroom's clean and it was nice. It's nice and spacious once again, as well as the rest of the room. I don't use too much of the TV and things like that, but this one does have a fridge. I do use it because I put the water in there and a couple of drinks, so that way, you know, they're nice and cold when I go out. At least when I came here, more or less at the end of May, towards the beginning of June, it is really hot, so I constantly had water with me in my book bag. That way I can drink it, and I did buy drinks along the way, because it can get pretty hot though, and the last thing you want to do is pass out because you're dehydrated. So make sure you drink a lot of water. Anyway, getting back to the hotel. Besides that, that the room is good, it's nice though. I also want to talk about the breakfast area. It was a complete breakfast. There was a lot of options, more than at least the American ones. There was a good selection of food. You have your vegetables, you have some fruits. I'll show you a little bit of what I ate. There was a little bit more options. I just don't get everything always, because, you know, there's some things I just don't want. I mean, like, for example, I don't want to eat a lot of bread, and I also don't want to eat cereal when I'm out here. I'd rather try something else, or something that gives you more proteins. So the breakfast area was actually, it's convenient. It's downstairs on the same floor where the reception is, and there's a lot of room, there's a lot of space. There was a really nice area towards the back though. I didn't sit there because I was a little bit hot, but there's also an outside sitting area if you want to sit there towards the front. And the staff that was there actually was helpful. I mean, if you needed something, you could just ask them. There was usually 2 people there every time I had breakfast down there. It is getting a little bit harder sometimes to rate these hotels, just because since it's a different country, I don't have a way to compare it to other hotels in the area, because this is the only one that I was here in this city. And I know that different countries have different standards, but maybe this could be a 5-star hotel here, and in other countries it could be considered like a 2-star hotel. So it's sometimes a little hard for me to rate this. So I'm gonna give it a rating, thinking that this country is a little bit on the lower end when it comes to hotels and their actual expectations of what it is a 5-star hotel. Just to give you an example, I think that they would probably consider this a 3-star hotel, in my opinion. And overall, in comparison to the best westerns that I've been to that have been on the extreme high side of the spectrum, and obviously the lowest ones, which unfortunately they happen to be the ones in the US. In my experience, the ones that have been always on the lower end have been the ones in America. And the best westerns I still, by now, internationally though. So I'm gonna combine, you know, from the highest and the lowest, and I'm gonna give this best western on the Richter scale 3.5 out of 5. That's my opinion. That's what I think about this hotel. I did see downstairs that they had like this this rating scale. I think it said 9.1. I'm assuming that it's 9.1 out of 10. So maybe my rating is different from what the country has as an expectation of this place. It could be maybe a 4.0, but for me, it's a 3.5, right? I would consider this more or less a 3-star hotel. Either way, I didn't talk too much with the staff. I didn't have too much interaction with the staff except the check-in process. That was it, though. Just talked to the receptionist for a few minutes, and then I went back down and just told them about the swap again. She just switched me. There was another receptionist, but at least they've been understanding. So hopefully this review on this Best Western gives you an idea of it. I've showed you the best room that they have. If this is something that you like, go ahead and book it. Overall, I didn't have any issues here. Location wise, it's in a good spot. It is in the city center. I do like to walk. So when I got to like the tourist areas, let's put it that way, like the tourist attraction parts, it would take me about, on average, between 30 to 45 minutes walking, which is fine though. I explore the city and walk. No need to take an Uber or a taxi or a cab, whatever it is. So just walk and experience the country itself a little bit better than just getting in a vehicle. So location wise is good, at least for me. Some people want to be more centric, but this is technically in the city itself, so I don't know what else do you want. There's only one place that I did have to take I used the app Bolt, and that was when I went to go see the Chronicles of Georgia, because if I walked there, it was like 2.5 hours until I get there if I walked. So yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous. I wasn't going to spend 5 hours walking just for one thing. So I ended up taking the Bolt, which is like a taxi service. I used the Bolt app. Once again, not sponsored. And it took me about 30 minutes to get there. And then when I came back, it was a little bit faster. I think like 25 minutes, I guess, because there was like less traffic coming back. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you like it. Thank you for everybody that keeps subscribing. I know that the channel's growing, and I really appreciate everyone that does subscribe and does comment and does help me out. You know, every little bit helps. And well, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask me, or you can message me privately, which I know that some people do, or you can just put it down in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more hotel reviews like these here on The Richter Show. See you on the next hotel review.
Shout out to the host of the Richter.